Alright, we're back on it today. Just got the frame rotisserie set up, cab dropped on it. Back out a little bit. And pretty much this thing, I just mounted it real quick to the original body mounts. One thing about these, you want to have them flush, and if you can have the pivot point more towards the center, these things roll a lot easier both ways instead of fighting it, just so you know. I'm popping all this stuff off. All the air conditioning, or not air conditioning, but heater controls, all that's coming off. We're simply just going to go ahead and get the windows popped out, gut this thing completely, master cylinder gone. We've already yanked the gas tank, and as you can see, she rotates nice and easy. So we're going to go ahead and gut the rest of it, get it all soda blasted out, start from square one. So bear with me, we keep on going on the video here. Alright, back at the 68 C10 this morning, and we basically just put our rear end in, drop the lift down. Now this is exactly where the factory axle were to mount off those rear lower trailing arms. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and set this up. This does go to the bottom of the axle on these kits. Nothing comes with instructions anymore, so make your own mind. It's all puzzles, baby. Long story short, this is the front mount for these. And I like to line these holes up. And if you look at it, if we use the lower hole there, or the lower hole there, the other hole here, that will line up perfectly. That'll keep the rear end from pivoting. If you use two different sets of holes, it will rotate as it moves. Now, if the application you have works better that way, roll with it. If it don't, I'm going to do it this way. We're going to worry about the coilovers and all that after the fact, but this does mount to the bottom side of the axle right there, and you're going to be building your own cross member basically. But keep in mind, your drive line will go through the center. So good rule of thumb is get them set up, build yourself some good gusseting off each side. This probably will stay, with modification of the drive line is going to be at a different pitch this time with a lowered suspension. So don't mind all the dirt. This thing was clean. But we're going to be probably removing the bottom section of that and getting rid of these, since they will no longer be needed. No longer needed on the lower trailing arms as well. But we're going to go ahead and get them set up. Keep in mind, you are going to be adding coilovers to the back of this. The sway bar there, or not sway bar, but the, whatever the hell it's called. We're removing it. I wrote the gearing on this rear end. We got an even distance from flat part of frame to right here on the tip of the wheel, and that is within a 1/4 inch of the distance from there to there on the width. Definitely measure everything 14 times and you're good. So bear with me, we're going to get this all set up, keep on going. We will work, or come back and work on the coilovers for the suspension after the fact of getting this all mounted up. We're going to have it lowered in my dog here in a minute, but we'll be good to go. Alright, continuing on progress here. We simply got our setup nice and square on there. This does go on the lower end from experience, putting a bunch of these on before. Tack, 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 tack. Don't let it rotate. And I, rule of thumb, try to generally find the center 50% of adjustment, so this thing can go any way you got to go. Keep that in mind. This kit, they actually sent me two driver's side brackets, so I'm gonna have to cut this off and make my own gusset and bracketry for these. I did hang them to the lower side. Why? Is because this is going to be riding lower, so if you can find about the same general area for height, and what that'll allow is for, if you pitch this way too steep, for example, this whole rear end will move way back or way forward with up and down, and you don't want that. It'll rub your tires on your fenders and result. But anyway, set these up, tack everything in place. You can work around them later. Do the same deal on the other side. And rule of thumb, try to make this measurement the same as on this side. And the closer the better, of course. Bear with me, we'll get the other side slapped on. And also our distance from the outer side of these hub to that side should be dead on. I got this rear end from a junkyard. I distinctly looked for a certain bolt pattern and a certain width. And this is out of a heavy half truck, therefore it is a little bit stronger than just any rear end. I'm not going to say it's no Ford 9-inch or anything, but it should definitely accommodate what we got going. Bear with us and we'll keep on going on this. Alright, now that we're back at it, we simply tacked up everything to the rear coilovers. This is kind of a tight squeeze. Definitely no instructions and a little bit different than what I thought the fitting would possibly be. But you see how it's turned out. Sway bar link and everything set up. We found a set of studded tires, you know, since we got all this ice on the ground that welds to the bottom. And everything is just tacked right now. We got gussets and everything else to build. That's a little lower than what I like, but it's definitely doable. And we got a ride height that is sitting at about 3 to 4 inch drop that we were after from the initial start. Well, there you go. We're gonna keep on going. Bear with me. This is not even nearly done, and we'll make another part to the video. All right, back at our '68 Chevy c10. Was a C20. Okay. Long story short, we're gonna go ahead and start putting some patch panels. We got some rust in there. And obviously, we just needed a couple pieces, but since we got all these, I'm going to go ahead and install them. A little bit of welding, not too much heat, and any given place at a time. I'm just going to slowly pop these on, and there is a left and right, so pay attention to what you're doing. And aftermarket stuff, I will tell you, never fits exactly right, so be prepared to custom it a little bit. But there's lines on this thing. You can go off for reference points. Make sure you got clean metal to weld to, clean cuts. If you want a real clean cut, I use the little thin wheel, or I'm using magnets and kind of following whatever I can. You weld normally on the bends like there, and maybe a tack somewhere here. That'll kind of keep it squared up. Just kind of go from there. And I'm going to finish cutting this out, and the bottom side of this baby is looking pretty bad. I will say, though, the other floor pan, a lot of surface, it can be cleaned off. But I think I'm going to cut into it, see what I think, go from there. And we'll pop these doors off and whatnot. We are going to get the windows out and do a soda blast on it next. And get just the remainder of the stuff. Getting new steering column, brake components, booster, master, all that. New wiring, any cable hoses, all this is getting replaced. It's got an aftermarket setup coming in, so all that can actually be wiped. And I probably will, kind of offbeat here, but I'll probably flat plate all that. Just seal up all the holes. Leave 2 holes for the heater hoses to get through. And 2 holes for the AC lines. It will be an AC truck when I'm done. And yeah, I'll just keep going. Little video segments as we roll. Keep posted. Stay tuned. Alright, we are officially, hold on, let me zoom out. Get my camera skills on. Anyway, we're going to be welding in some of these new panels. And little sections of floor pans, corners. We're going to just do all that. After all that, we're going to soda blast everything top to bottom. Strip out the rest of the guts, which ain't much, and these are simple. Oh, this factory air conditioning or fan and blower setup is all gone bye-bye. We're going to be working with an aftermarket heat and AC setup. Whole new brakes with a booster. Unlike this one, you got to use both feet. New steering column. Every component, wiring, but just leaving the glass and a few things in it until we are actually to that point, one thing at a time, boys. And just kind of giving you an update. Here we go. All right, back at it. I don't know if I'm losing or winning this war. We got everything stripped out, heater box, all the wiring, even the radio switches, steering column center trestle here, which I don't think is going to fit the, I believe it's 4L65E. So we're going to leave that out for time being. We're just starting to work some metal. And I put the doors back on so I can see exactly how it lines up. And we got some rot down here I'm going to fix while I'm at it. Anyway, simply start with cutting this out. If you see, the edge that holds this windshield is now gone. Just like this, you cut that back right here. It's just normally a two-man job. So heads up, there you go. Bear with me, I'll get them popped out and then we're pretty much ready for soda blast, or just continue working on some metal. Probably wait till Monday for soda blast anyway. It's about to be the weekend, so bear with me. I'm going to continue on. Just a little update. Alright, we now got our windows out. Not too bad on the spots other than right there. We're going to cut that out, patch it in with some real metal. And I do prefer to use as much factory metal as possible. I will tell you straight up, these panels right here are like half the thickness of the real stuff. If you look at this, you can definitely see. I'll give you a straight comparison. Now look at that closely and you'll notice that the original metal is almost double thickness of this cheap stuff. It's all stamped in aftermarket. Aside from that, we're going to put on every panel that I can. I got some good rust on some of this stuff. But if I can use stuff like this, I normally will. But when it's this bad, I prefer not to. Well, there you go. We definitely got to do the other side and work our way around. We're just going to put on. We're going to fill in that hole because we're using an external gas tank in the bed now. And we got some major floor pan problems. But for the most of it, this is the worst of the damage. The rest of it ain't actually that bad. So, all stripped out. We're going to flip her over and upside down and soda blast the hell out of it. Well, bear with me and we'll get down. About to get jiggy with it. Alright, now that we're back at it, we're going to be using an aftermarket heating, ventilation, all that. So I'm going to be filling in all these holes. I'm going to plasma cut out a couple cutouts, weld these in. So we got a flush mount firewall. Get rid of some of this crap. This has all got to come out. That's got to come out. We're going to continue forward. Just on to the next step of it. There you go. Alright, dude, making it quick. You got all new panels welded on. Got a little bit more to go there. All that's on. And then I started patching up your firewall. That's all be flat. Alright. We are just getting ready this afternoon. Cold, but nice. I'll take it. It ain't raining. Well, it was raining. You can see. I'm about to go salmon fishing in the pond over here. Anyway, we got to basically align our motor mounts. We've got a kit we bought aftermarket for the LS3. And they're fully adjustable. They kind of shimmy back and forth. But we do have to make some good, extremely perfect measurements of the cab. As far as making our clearance right here around the tranny, the motor, and everything. We're going to be mounting them to the motor and deleting these for now. And then we're just going to set the motor up exactly where we want it, side to side, left to right, front to back. And yeah, bear with me for the ride. We ain't got no seats for this ride. You know, the Barney Rebel it, don't mind. All right, back on the project. Part number, I don't know, 87. I'm not counting. I can't even count that high, man. You think I got a high school education? I just know how to make stuff. Okay. Made a temporary tacked in bracket. We're going to make this a bolt-in, though. For the fact of, I want the transmission to be removable. We got to remove this other center piece. Whatever the heck it's called. Motor mounts, we pretty much just set them up. Put them in, tacked everything all up. It's got good tacking. It is definitely measured 27 times. Left to right. It ain't crooked. Good to go. Thumbs up. Yeah, baby. 5100 $. Okay, anyway, the 6.2 LS3 for the old 68, it fits, but I will tell you the exhaust is going to be amazingly tight. Didn't consider that when I started, but it's all good. We're gonna make it work regardless, even if I gotta buy some headers that tuck into the block nice and tight. So there it is. That's our setup, and we'll continue with this a little more tomorrow, just day by day. Bear with me on the videos. I'm welcome to answer questions, but not about myself. Oh, thanks for watching. Bear with me. We're gonna keep on moving on this. Okay, back at it. The whole LS3. Let me turn the loud welder off. It's looking great. Okay, now we do have some little slight modifications. Realize how tight you got. Keep in mind, this thing will move a hair, so you don't want that bump in the frame. Over here, I'm going to put an extra flat plate behind this to brace what I did have to remove the meat. I probably took about a ½ inch too much, but it will save us when we go to hook up the AC, because this will be an AC truck going to Vegas. We got a heck of a mess in here, so don't mind that. It's all dirt now. Okay, and aside that, we reinforced the motor mounts a little bit more. It never hurts. You guys know what the LS3 is. You know she's kicking a little bit of power and torque. Okay, on other aspects, we did remove the cross member that went under the tranny, almost under the bell housing almost. We cut that out, but we did replace that with another one for the actual tranny mount itself. And that was the tranny mount one prior. Okay, now over here, what I got going is when you put on this exhaust header, right where the collector's at, you're gonna have little notches like this you might have to add. Just smooth them up. And then we had a couple holes in the frame that I ended up welding and patching, filling in. Can't really tell they were over there. So long story short, this is gonna be a learning experience for you regardless of what you do. You're gonna F around and find out. Okay, but there you go. So bear with me. I'll get the exhaust back on and I'll show you exactly why I do things like this. And then you'll see at the end why I made so much room right here. So there you go. Bear with me. Just a little update. Just over here, giving a soda blast. Using high pressure cocaine out this little machine right here. High pressure air. Anyway, getting this down to bare metal. You can see it strips it down, do nothing quickly. So this is the best way to do this. And besides one rain, and your pile of yayo is gone. But yeah, this thing cleans it down to bare minimal. So thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated on the 1968. All right, back at it. We did a bunch of soda blasting. I did leave the door alone for now because I'm going to be going through this and I might actually be getting a different door. Okay, and any part that I'm going to be replacing, this we're going to try to save to that crack. There to there, replace. This is all lightly past the surface I can fix. Okay, definitely specified on getting into these windows. Got one spot up here that I didn't really like right there at my fingertip. I'm going to cut that open. And I think I'm going to get some good rust stop in there. And we got a couple spots throughout that popped up as I cut in. So, not a bad thing. All under the dash, like glove box, floor pans, everywhere that's going to be staying. Pretty much got sprayed. All beside that, we did hit the bottom. One rolled the truck over earlier, but I'm too old and tired to crawl under there right now. But as you can see, it's bare metal, and we're gonna go ahead and catch this patch out too. Clean behind it, Rust-Oleum it in good. Put a patch panel in there because this is going to be changing to flat metal. We're just flattening this out. This is going to be an LS3 installed in this with all new wiring, brake components, every single piece new. So we're just gonna flush up the front here a little bit, and I did get pretty good inside of where the wiper area was too. Don't mind all this is caked up soda from earlier, but yeah, this thing really cut in deep. Soda blaster is the only way to go, even if you don't get it all the way down. It definitely makes life easy. And yeah, this thing is super dirty. You know, like back here, even under the dash, really important. Get all that stuff out. We got the whole dash stripped. Looking good, but yeah, like I said, this is the spot I think I'm going to end up replacing. And we'll go from there. So bear with me for the ride. I'm going to keep it going. All right, once again, back at it. Early morning, top of the morning. Bottom of my feelings. Fuck your feelings when it comes to this. Anyway, we got a hell of a mess in here. We're cleaning everything up. We are patching in the last of the metal, and I got a bracket right here on this truck that's giving me hell. Trying to simply match it. I prefer to use the OEM metal opposed to these patch panels, which are about half the thickness. But this was so ate up in this whole area, we're better off replacing it. But we're going to leave what metal we can, which would be this on the floor pan, down, and we're going to roll with that. I'm going to simply finish cutting this stuff out right here. Square, probably make myself a nice little line, then grind the hell out of it where I can get a good contact, weld everything nicely, and keep the support. I did leave this little trim right here, which is a great outline, guideline, whatever you want to call it, for when we reestablish putting everything back together. It'll help me line the edges of the panel up with that side and this one. And then there's a backing plate which goes in here, which should be tack welded in as well. And under all these, before I weld them, I Rust-Oleum good, thick, let them dry so they don't light on fire when you're welding them. And just keep rolling with it. So bear with me. We're going to keep on moving forward.